Bruno Mars stands among the world's most gifted performers, influencing a whole generation of music lovers with blockbuster tracks like Uptown Funk, 24K Magic, and Just the Way You Are. With his commanding voice, electrifying stage energy, and one-of-a-kind musical flair, this artist of Black heritage has won over countless admirers and collected a slew of esteemed honors, including 15 Grammy Awards. Given his dazzling accomplishments, it's easy to envision the lavish existence Bruno Mars now enjoys. Think multi-million-dollar estates, sleek supercars, and a dazzling array of diamond jewelry. Yet, beneath this polished exterior lies a lesser-known tale of struggle. Bruno once navigated a tough childhood, sleeping in an abandoned bird zoo and scraping by on coins from street gigs. There have even been whispers of crippling gambling debts. So, what's the real story behind the affluent and flashy life of this remarkable talent? Let's peel back the curtain on Bruno Mars' hidden chapters right now. Born into a world of rhythm and a rocky youth, have you ever pondered what fuels Bruno Mars' magnetic stage appeal? Perhaps it's the highs and lows of his past that shaped his incredible gifts. Originally named Peter Gene Hernandez, he entered the world on October 8, 1985, in Honolulu, Hawaii, raised in a diverse, creative clan. His dad, Peter Hernandez, a Puerto Rican and Jewish drummer and percussionist, and his mom, Bernadette San Pedro Bayo, a Filipino and Spanish hula dancer and vocalist, crossed paths during a live show, cultivating a home brimming with artistry and sound. From his earliest days, Bruno soaked up this musical atmosphere. At age 2, his father nicknamed him Bruno, likening him to the wrestler Bruno Sammartino. By 3, he was already taking the stage, crooning Elvis Presley and Michael Jackson classics. At 4, he joined the Love Notes, his family's band, performing 5 nights weekly and soon earning the title Little Elvis, a fame that landed him in Midweek magazine in 1990 and a cameo in the 1992 movie Honeymoon in Vegas. But the spotlight hid struggles few saw. At 12, his parents' divorce shattered the family band, thrusting them into money troubles. Bruno and his father ended up in dire straits, living in places like an abandoned bird zoo, sometimes bedding down on rooftops or in cars. Rather than despair, they sang together, turning grim times into tender recollections. Bruno later said these trials toughened him up, building grit for the cutthroat music world. During his years at President Theodore Roosevelt High School in Honolulu, he kept chasing his musical passion, joining the schoolboys to perform hits by the Isley Brothers and the Temptations, while also warming up crowds for his dad's new group. These moments sharpened his stage skills and taught him endurance, diligence, and a profound affection for music, cornerstones of his future triumphs. After graduating in 2003, Bruno boldly left Honolulu behind, heading to Los Angeles, California, to pursue his dreams. In those initial days in an unknown city, he faced countless hurdles and doubts. Though solo stardom was still distant, he carved an early niche as a songwriter and producer, teaming up with big names, co-penning chart toppers, and slowly building his reputation in the industry. Bruno Mars' rise to the top is a saga of grit and ingenuity. Ever wonder what lifted a Hawaiian kid to music's brightest heights? His path brims with surprises and stellar feats. The big break hit in 2004 when he inked a deal with the famed Motown Records. Though it didn't yield instant solo fame, it opened doors, connecting him with ace songwriter Philip Lawrence and audio wizard Ari Levine. The trio birthed the Smeezingtons, a songwriting and production crew famed for mixing fresh and vintage vibes, striking gold with songs like Brandy's Long Distance, Flo Rida's Right Round, and Kanon's Wavin' Flag, the 2010 FIFA World Cup's official anthem. Bruno soon stretched beyond crafting tunes, lending his voice and co-writing smashes like B.O.B.S. Nothin' on You and Travie McCoy's Billionaire, catching Atlantic Records' eye in 2009. His silky vocals and polished songwriting chops set him apart. The year 2010 was a game-changer with his first solo album, Doo-Wops and Hooligans. Its lead track, Just the Way You Are, soared to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, locking in his pop stardom. The record also boasted gems like Grenade and The Lazy Song, flaunting his range across styles. In 2012, he dropped Unorthodox Jukebox, diving into funk and reggae with bangers like Locked Out of Heaven and When I Was Your Man. His knack for switching genres won him a huge worldwide following. Then, in 2014, his team up with Mark Ronson on Uptown Funk exploded globally, ruling the Billboard Hot 100 for 14 straight weeks and snagging top awards. Its lively beats and throwback funk feel proved Bruno could make any track a classic with his magic touch. By 2016, he kept fans hooked with 24K Magic, a record steeped in 90s retro funk, spotlighting hits like 24K Magic, That's What I Like, and Versace on the Floor. Blending today's sounds with old-school charm, it nabbed 7 Grammys, including Album and Record of the Year. More than a sales hit, it was a daring move that brought funk's heyday into the digital age. Bruno shines not just with chartbusters, but with spellbinding live shows, packed with slick moves echoing Michael Jackson, James Brown, and Prince. His standout gig came at the 2014 Super Bowl halftime show. Young compared to past legends, he seized America's grandest stage, delivering a high-octane spectacle with the Red Hot Chili Peppers that skyrocketed his fame, proving he's not just a pop figure, but a world-class entertainer. In 2021, he stunned fans again, pairing with Anderson .Paak to launch Silk Sonic, a nod to 70s R&B and soul. Their album An Evening with Silk Sonic and debut single Leave the Door Open hit #1 and clinched a Grammy for Song of the Year. Silk Sonic's charm wasn't just its silky tunes, but its revival of a bygone era with retro looks, steps, and nostalgic visuals. Beyond singing, songwriting, and producing, Bruno turns every venture into a standout moment. His work on Adele's 2015 track All I Ask showed his skill at weaving raw feeling with finesse. Never dodging bold partnerships, each effort he joins carries his distinct stamp. Bruno Mars has left his mark across the music realm, from crafting songs and producing to performing and setting trends. He doesn't chase the mainstream, but forges his own lane, where every tune bears his signature blend of past and present melodies, careful artistry, and heartfelt emotion that hits listeners from the first note. Bruno Mars' honors and milestones prove his unmatched prowess. Each song he drops and every stage move he nails not only breathe life into music, but etch his name in showbiz lore. What makes him a titan of his era? It's not just his catchy hits or enthralling gigs, but his hefty haul of top-tier awards, solid evidence of his rare talent. It kicked off in 2011 with his first Grammy for Best Male Pop Vocal Performance for Just the Way You Are from Doo-Wops and Hooligans. This wasn't just a win. It was a declaration that a fresh star was here to rattle the global scene. His ascent continued with Unorthodox Jukebox in 2012, which snagged Best Pop Vocal Album in 2014. Its tracks Locked Out of Heaven and When I Was Your Man ruling charts and showing his smooth genre shifts. A defining peak came in 2016 with Mark Ronson's Uptown Funk, a funky throwback groove too catchy to resist. It not only boosted his fame, but nabbed Record of the Year and Best Pop Duo/Group Performance at the Grammys. The ultimate high arrived with 24K Magic in 2016, a groove-laden triumph that swept 7 Grammys, including Album of the Year, Record of the Year, Best R&B Album, Performance, Song, and Song of the Year for That's What I Like. Its retro funk flair confirmed Bruno wasn't just a pop act, but a pioneer reviving funk and R&B's golden days. He didn't stop at charts. He hit the Guinness World Records in 2015, his 2014 Super Bowl show drawing 115.3 million viewers, outpacing many icons before him. Uptown Funk's reign persisted, topping the U.S. digital song sales chart for 13 weeks in 2017. In 2018, he was the first male with 3 singles, Just the Way You Are, Grenade, and Uptown Funk, selling over 10 million copies each, and he led as the most followed male on musical.ly. Bruno's reach stretches beyond tunes. Time magazine dubbed him one of the 100 most influential people in 2011, a rare nod for artists. In 2014, he headed Forbes' 30 Under 30 list, spotlighting powerful young talents across fields. He also graced Forbes' Celebrity 100 list 4 times. Hashtag 52 in 2015, number 60 in 2017, number 11 in 2018, and number 54 in 2019, showing his global pull. A Billboard juggernaut, it began in 2010 with Just the Way You Are hitting number 1 on the Hot 100, followed by Unorthodox Jukebox topping the Billboard 200 in 2012, and Uptown Funk holding the Hot 100's top spot for 14 weeks. A rare feat in 2021, Silk Sonic with Anderson .Paak reaffirmed his clout. Leave the Door Open claimed #1 on the Hot 100 and won 4 2022 Grammys, including Song and Record of the Year, Best R&B Performance, and Song, while their album peaked at #2 on the Billboard 200. Over a decade in, Bruno remains a force, a cultural marvel, masterful showman, and global influencer, his awards and feats cementing him as a living legend scripting an epic tale. Bruno Mars, the music industry's cash king, doesn't just rule charts. He spun his gifts into a vast financial kingdom. Seeing what this versatile star owns now, it's tough to picture him as a kid busking on Honolulu's modest stages for pocket change. So how wealthy is he? Celebrity Net Worth pegs Bruno Mars' fortune at $175 million, a jaw-dropping sum, yet fitting for his industry impact. This wealth isn't just from record sales, but flows from blockbuster tours, endorsement deals, and shrewd investments. His riches didn't sprout overnight. They're the fruit of tireless hustle. In 2013 alone, he pocketed $38 million, ranking among Billboard's top earners. But that was a warm-up. By 2014, his haul jumped to $60 million. In later years, earnings swung but stayed impressive. $40 million from 2016 to 2017, then a whopping $100 million in 2017 to 2018, crowning him that year's highest-paid artist. What's the trick to Bruno's hefty income? Tours are a goldmine. Hits like Just the Way You Are and Uptown Funk keep raking in cash via sales and streams. Exact numbers are hush-hush, but platforms like Spotify and Apple Music clearly pad his wealth. Still, nothing beats his world tours. Bruno's shows always sell out, pulling in massive sums. Forbes reports his 2017 to 2018 tour grossed $300 million. How much he kept is unclear, but even a slice cements him among the planet's richest artists. These tours aren't just cash cows. They flaunt his top-notch live chops, with slick dance moves, potent vocals, and a charged stage vibe, turning each gig into a musical marvel that justifies steep ticket prices and hefty revenue. Beyond arenas, he lands rich Las Vegas contracts, where his shows fetch premium rates. High-profile slots at events like the Super Bowl, where he's dazzled twice, in 2014 and 2016, bolster his star power, as do performances at the Grammys, MTV Video Music Awards, and Victoria's Secret fashion show, drawing millions and hiking his brand's worth. His 2017 to 2018 24K Magic World Tour, with over 200 global dates, grossed over $367 million, ranking among history's top earners. A savvy investor, Bruno doesn't lean only on music. Shunning typical endorsement hype, he crafts his name into a profit machine. In 2013, he backed NJOY, an e-cigarette firm, and co-owns Selvaray Rum, a premium U.S. liquor label. He's also in Chromatic, a digital sheet music outfit. In 2021, he dipped into fashion with his Lacoste X Ricky Regal line, a 70s-inspired hit that swelled his empire. In 2020, he signed with Disney to produce and star in a musical film, stretching his sway into wider entertainment. YouTube's a treasure trove too. With nearly 35 million subscribers, he's a music titan and a top creator on the globe's biggest video hub. Since starting his channel in 2006, his videos have notched over 16.8 billion views. Yes, billion with a B. With YouTube's monetization, CPM of $2 to $5 per thousand views, he's likely banked tens of millions from uploads alone. His clips aren't mere releases, they're view-jacking masterpieces. Uptown Funk at 4.9 billion. That's What I Like at 2.4 billion. And even the simple The Lazy song topping 2 billion, making his channel a cash printer. But Bruno's YouTube isn't just ad money, it's a smart play. Each video hypes his music, spiking album sales, ticket hauls, and merch revenue. A new hit draws millions to stream free on YouTube, turning viewers into fans ready to shell out for tunes, shows, or branded gear. With a storied career, stellar talent, and a keen investment eye, he's built a rock-steady financial fortress. At this pace, it won't be long before Bruno Mars hits music billionaire status. echoing his billionaire lyrics. I want to be a billionaire so freaking bad, buy all the things I never had. I want to be on the cover of Forbes magazine, smiling next to Oprah and the Queen. Living a luxe dream many crave, his fortune, forged through years of relentless drive, lets him savor grand pleasures, from multi-million-dollar homes and slick supercars to enviable experiences. So what shapes Bruno Mars' regal lifestyle? Start with his billion-dollar real estate. In 2012, amid his soaring career, he snagged a gorgeous Honolulu vacation home, his birthplace, for $3.1 million. This Balinese-style gem blended calm and grandeur with high ceilings, graceful arches, and vast windows flooding it with light, letting him bask in Hawaii's stunning nature. Built in 1991 on a private third-acre lot steps from the beach, it spanned 4,124 square feet, with 4 roomy bedrooms, an open layout, and a striking spiral staircase to upper levels. The kitchen boasted modern gear and sliding glass doors to a patio and pool, while the master suite and living areas matched 5-star hotel vibes with marble-clad baths. Outside, a big pool, hot tub, and cabana with a gas grill set the scene for lavish parties. But his Hollywood grind left little time to enjoy it, so in 2015, he listed it for $3.5 million, selling at $2.7 million, a notable loss. Chasing his LA career, Bruno bought a chic Studio City pad in 2012 for over $3.2 million. Unlike typical starter homes, this estate screamed cutting-edge luxury. Near Studio City and Hollywood Hills West, it featured a frosted glass entry and retractable glass walls blending indoor space with jaw-dropping city and mountain views. Though single-story, it stretched 4,064 square feet with 3 bedrooms and 3.5 baths. The open living room glowed with natural light, paired with a luxe kitchen and fully kit home office. A top-notch security setup with cameras and an indoor-outdoor audio system made it a true upscale haven. In 2014, he upped the ante, quietly nabbing a $6.5 million Fryman Canyon mansion, a star-studded spot hosting names like George Clooney and Terry Hatcher. This architectural stunner sprawled over 9,000 square feet with 7 bedrooms, 8 baths, and premium perks. Its European flair shone with tall ceilings, grand halls, and light-filled rooms. A 2-story foyer flowed into a formal living room and plush dining space, decked with bold colors, ornate rugs, and elegant chandeliers for a royal vibe. It also had a big family room with a bar and wine cellar, a dining area with red accents and a vintage chandelier, and a chef's kitchen with a huge island. The breakfast nook offered killer views and pool access via glass doors. The estate wasn't just posh, it was comfy and fun, with a wood-paneled office for luxe guest rooms and a kids' wing with 2 small bedrooms, a playroom, and a mini kitchen, balancing extravagance and family life. A cutting-edge home theater topped it off for movie nights in style. Bruno Mars' car stash mirrors his flair. Like many A-listers, he spares no cost on wheels that match his vibe and persona. His garage blends speed, prestige, and nostalgia with high-octane sports cars and vintage classics. A standout is the Rolls-Royce Phantom, a pinnacle of luxury with a plush interior like a rolling palace. He also rocks a Lamborghini Huracan Evo, a beastly sports car with a V10 engine hitting 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 2.9 seconds, ideal for thrill rides. A Cadillac fan, he owns an Escalade, a commanding full-size SUV, and a CTS Coupe, a sleek sports car with a 3.6 LV6. His 1987 Cadillac Alante, a convertible born from a Cadillac Pininfarina collab, nods to his vintage love. This lineup isn't just a success flex, it's a bold take on his luxe, refined style. As a global artist, Bruno splurges on gear flaunting his success, personality, and flair. Rocking designer threads from elite labels like Gucci and Versace, he's always sharp, elegant, yet standout. Beyond fashion, his luxury jewelry stash, custom pieces with rare gems, amps up his polished look. His luxe taste spills into travel and dining, hitting up high-end eateries with the priciest plates. For smooth, stylish trips, he owns a Gulfstream G550 jet, worth $42 million, about 56.4 million SGD, dubbed Mars Flyer. More than transport, It's a badge of his entertainment reign. A watch buff, per vocal media, he owns Rolex stunners like the Day-Date President, $24,750, and Datejust for £1,750. The Day-Date, spotted on TV, adds a classy edge to his suave style. From clothes and bling to jet travel and fine timepieces, Bruno Mars masters luxe living, making every second sophisticated and distinctly his. No star escapes scandal, and Bruno Mars is no outlier. Despite a mostly quiet, polite life, he's had shocks for fans. It started in 2010, riding high with Just the Way You Are and Grenade. But one September night in Las Vegas, police nabbed him for cocaine possession at a famed club. The news blew up, denting the young talent's shine. Bruno owned up, completed rehab, logged 200 hours of community service, and took counseling. Luckily, it didn't sink his career, instead maturing him and sharpening his caution. After years of a clean slate, 2024 brought a wild rumor. Bruno allegedly owed MGM Casinos $50 million in gambling debts. Social media buzzed, stunning fans. Some guessed his Vegas gigs were debt payoffs. MGM reps swiftly shut it down, affirming no debt and a solid bond with Bruno. The tale fizzled fast, a cue that even top artists dodge wild guesses. He's also caught flack for cultural appropriation, with some saying he leans hard on black music and culture. Bruno insists he reveres and credits the legends who paved the way, staying locked on his craft to let his hits drown out the noise. Maybe that's his shield against rumors, wielding talent and steadfast focus. Bruno Mars stays one of Hollywood's most enigmatic figures in personal matters. Despite global fame and millions of fans, he keeps his private world under wraps. One thing shines through: his decade-plus bond with Jessica Caban. They met in 2011 as his debut album launched him skyward. Since then, she's been his muse, sparking tracks like Marry You and When I Was Your Man, rarely posting about their lives online. The pair has stood firm at key times, hitting the Grammy red carpet thrice for 6 big wins. Bruno once called her his best pal. Yet, recent whispers hint at a split after Jessica wiped their pics from Instagram. Both stay mum, leaving fans wishing for a reunion sighting. 2024 also marks Bruno's blazing comeback, with a busy, triumphant year. Collabs with Lady Gaga and Blackpink's Rose have crushed charts and won over critics. At the 67th Grammys, Die With a Smile, his tender duet with Gaga, took Best Pop Duo/Group Performance. Accepting it, Gaga gushed, "You're an amazing soul, the songwriter of our age. I'd be lost without Bruno." It was his 16th Grammy, pushing his nominations to 33. Though it missed Song of the Year, the track held the Billboard Hot 100's top spot for 4 weeks, cementing it as a 2024 giant. As we reach the end of Bruno Mars' incredible story so far, it's hard not to feel a tidal wave of emotions crashing over us. His path from a tough childhood in Honolulu to the dazzling lights of global stardom is nothing short of awe-inspiring. Bruno Mars isn't just a name on a marquee or a voice on the radio. He's a symbol of resilience, a master of creativity, and a bridge connecting millions through the universal language of music. Reflecting on his life and work stirs something deep within: admiration, gratitude, and a profound sense of connection to an artist who has given us so much more than songs. Bruno Mars' story is one of grit and heart. Born Peter Jean Hernandez, he faced challenges that could have dimmed anyone's spirit. A broken family after his parents' divorce, nights spent in poverty, even sleeping in an abandoned bird zoo with his father. Yet, these struggles didn't define him, they fueled him. I'm struck by how he turned adversity into ambition, using music as both his escape and his weapon. He once said those nights, singing with his dad, despite the cold and uncertainty, became some of his fondest memories. That resilience moves me. It's a quiet strength that echoes in every performance, reminding us that no obstacle is too big when you carry a dream in your soul. What can you say about Bruno Mars' talent that hasn't already been sung from the rooftops? He's not just a singer, he's a visionary. His ability to weave funk, soul, pop, and R&B into a sound that's unmistakably his own leaves me speechless. Songs like Just the Way You Are wrap you in warmth, Uptown Funk demands you dance, and When I Was Your Man cracks your heart open with its raw honesty. Each track feels like a brushstroke on a masterpiece, painted with melodies that linger and lyrics that hit home. His creativity is boundless. I marvel at how he channels legends like Michael Jackson and James Brown while forging a path that's uniquely Bruno. His music doesn't just entertain, it transports. Listening to 24K Magic, I feel the swagger of a night out. With Grenade, I'm plunged into the depths of sacrifice. He's a storyteller who doesn't need a script, just a beat and a microphone. And that's a gift that keeps me coming back, album after album. Perhaps what I love most about Bruno Mars is how he makes you feel like he's singing to you alone. His performances are electric, yes, but they're also intimate. I've watched him on stage, through videos, or, if I'm lucky, in person, and it's as if he locks eyes with every single soul in the crowd. That connection is pure magic. When he croons Just the Way You Are, it's a love letter to anyone who's ever doubted their worth. When he struts through Uptown Funk, it's an invitation to let go and live a little louder. His concerts aren't just shows, they're emotional roller coasters. You laugh, you dance, you might even cry, and you leave changed. I've seen fans light up at his every move, and I've felt it too. That rush of joy, that pang of nostalgia. Bruno Mars doesn't just perform, he shares himself, and in return, he brings out the best in us. Bruno's journey is proof that music can do more than entertain. It can heal, inspire, and unite. He's taken his hardships and turned them into anthems that lift people up. His success, 16 Grammys, billions of streams, sold-out arenas, speaks volumes, but it's the quieter impact that gets me. His story whispers to dreamers everywhere. Keep going, because talent and heart can carry you further than you ever imagined. I'm touched by how he honors his roots while reaching for the stars. He nods to the past with every funky riff and soulful harmony. Yet he's always pushing forward, reinventing himself with projects like Silk Sonic or his 2024 hit Die with a Smile with Lady Gaga. That duality, respecting where he came from while dreaming of where he's going, makes him timeless. Bruno Mars' music has been a companion through my own highs and lows. The Lazy song was my anthem on lazy Sundays. Locked Out of Heaven powered me through wild nights. When I Was Your Man held my hand through regret. His songs aren't just background noise. They're markers of moments, woven into the fabric of my life. I'm grateful for an artist who can make me feel so much, so effortlessly. Beyond his music, I admire his humility. For someone who shines so brightly, he's refreshingly down to earth, letting his work speak louder than his words. That authenticity is rare, and it deepens my respect for him, not just as a star, but as a person. With every new release, Bruno keeps us guessing, and I'm thrilled for what's next. His recent Grammy win for Die with a Smile in 2024 alongside Lady Gaga felt like a victory for all of us who've cheered him on. When Gaga called him the songwriter of our time, I nodded in agreement. He's earned that title and then some. His restlessness, his drive to evolve, keeps me on the edge of my seat, eager for the next chapter. Bruno Mars has already etched his name in history, but his legacy is still unfolding. It's not just the awards or the records, it's the way he makes us feel. Joyful, heartbroken, alive, he's given us a soundtrack for it all. His story inspires me to chase my own dreams, to find strength in struggle, and to celebrate every triumph, big or small. If Bruno Mars' journey and the emotions he stirs have touched you as deeply as they've touched me, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share how his music has shaped your life. And please, like and subscribe to keep this celebration of his artistry alive, because a talent like his deserves to be shouted from the rooftops.